Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Today we're going to be carrying on with this big oil production refinery here, well, system of refineries. We've got several of the pipes down. I am doing this entire episode at ×3 speed because I personally felt that the 2 was a little bit slow for, if we're going to do it like this, we might as well do it properly. 4 seemed a little bit too fast. You lost... We seemed to lose a little bit of the detail while we were doing it. So I'm just putting out the different pipes to the different areas here so that we have... we want number 2 there. We've got a few more to go, and then we'll be able to get the actual main rocket itself. So I'll plug in the oil here. I've connected up the tanks so that we can siphon out the light oil to the right hand side there. The petroleum is to the immediate left, and on the far left is the heavy oil, and there we go. It's all working, all fully operational. Those 2 are working as well. So I'm going to go and get a whole load of materials, and we've got a few other little bits and pieces that I want to do as well. I'm just going to stand here a minute and let these lovely little robots come and top me up with absolutely everything. I'm also going to make a few of these. We'll pop these into the refineries in a minute. We'll get a little bit more sort of value for money, as it were, out of the oil that we get coming in. I might actually not use the speed ones at all. I might just put productivity modules in there, because I know it does slow it down a little bit, but having the 3 of them, it does mean that we'll actually end up getting more for the oil that is harvested, which I think really on this type of map is quite important. For one like we will be migrating to at some point after we've sort of effectively completed the game, the massive amount of resources that we've got available means that we're not really going to need to worry about productivity modules. I'm not quite sure what we'll do there. We'll probably end up using modules on all of it anyway, just because we can. And I love these robots. I love the way that they all come scurrying to and filling it all up. But I'm making a whole load more roboports a minute, and then now we're going to pop them all down here, extend the lines out so that we've got enough that we can... I'm just changing these chests as well, or I will be in a minute. As soon as they're made up, we will... so we need to sort of keep a close eye on all the chests. I shouldn't have that one there. That one was a mistake. I should have put the passive provider chest rather than storage chest, because otherwise we end up getting the wrong things thrown down there. Change all of these for passive provider chests as well. And this little system I might remove altogether and just... I'm not really sure. Not quite sure how we'll do that one. It depends how much fuel that we need. Heavy, the fuel blocks. We've got lubricant being made down here, so yeah, we'll sort of play this one by ear. But anyway, I'm going to make a whole load more solar panels down here. We've got several being made already. If I put out a few of these roboports down here, we can extend down the solar panels and make a whole load extra. Just pick up these few tree trunks that are lying around. I know a lot of people use the more advanced, the telegraph poles, the steel ones. I personally quite like the wooden ones because they're so cheap. Later on, once we've got masses of steel coming in, it's not really going to be an issue. But at the moment, the wooden ones really are cheap. You only need a bit of copper for them, and you can make loads of them. So for the most part, you'll see me using the wooden ones. I'll go and harvest a whole load of trees. I'll probably do that in a couple episodes' time, because I think I'm starting to run a little bit low on wood, actually. But now I've got all these robots, they can go out and they can do all my harvesting for me, which will make life a lot easier. I'll make a few more roboports in a bit as well, and we can extend out the link so that we cover all of this area up here with the robots as well. Everything's filling up quite nicely here now. We're starting to have the tanks filled up. So I think really the first thing that we're going to want to build, if I pop all of these in a second, we've got one of each of the speed module and the productivity one. I'm thinking I might change them for productivity ones later on. I will deal with that heavy oil in a bit, but the one that's filling up the fastest is going to be the petroleum. So we'll pop out a few of these here, and we're going to do battery production first. We'll ferry over a little bit of coal later on, and then we can get a good plastic production system going here as well. Quite sure when I'll do that. It will at some point, but anyway, I need to just run the water down from up there. It's surprising how much water you use with this system, but I mean, we got one pump over there. I don't think we're going to get any shortage from it. We may do, sort of something we'll have to wait and see. I do need a few more pipes, so I'm going to get a few more pipes, get some more iron, let all these busy little robots fill us all up again. I love this. I really do. I never get tired of these hordes of robots whizzing back and forth, filling you all up. And while I remember, I'll just put down these steel furnaces. I completely forgot. I made them up last time and then completely forgot about them. So we've now got 4 steel furnaces making steel and 4 iron being provided. That should help create a little bit of a surplus, because I think we're going to need it. Excuse me. We want to be able to make a lot more solar panels and a lot more accumulators and so on. We'll be able to start setting that up soon. Now that we're making a load, we're going to make a load of sulphur here, and then we'll put a chain of factories underneath, and we'll use those to well, we have these 3 here, then we have a chain of 3 underneath that making sulfuric acid, and we'll have 3 underneath that making batteries. I may actually do more than 3 for the batteries. I'll see how many I think I need. We'll also pipe off the sulfuric acid and start making more of the processing units, the purple ones, because they require the sulfuric acid as well. I can't actually remember if anything else needs sulfuric acid on top of those. I'm not actually sure, to be honest. We'll get to that, and if they do, they do. It's not like we're going to have a shortage here. We will kit our pump jacks out with the fastest speed modules that we can later on. I'm not going to worry about it at the moment while they've still got loads of other stuff. The wells run dry. There's like a finite amount, well, they almost run dry, but once they get to the 0.1, as I said before, then that's infinite. So the faster you can get them to pump, the better. And then you can also put in, there's the area of effect boost as well, and they stack. So we'll use those area of effect things, and we'll stack that up with boosts right onto the pump jacks as well. And that should get us enough oil that we're not going to need to worry about getting any from anywhere else, at least for this particular map. I need iron, of course, to make the sulfuric acid. So I'm going to have to get a few of the miners now. Running a bit low on iron, so we've got to make a few more of them. But if I make up a section of these, I also want more robots. We've got loads of accumulators here, so we're going to switch these factories over so that they start making robots. I'll just also remember to change over that requester chest just to the top. At the moment it's requesting iron there. We get rid of that, and we'll start requesting the electric engines, and I can unload a few of the ones that I'm carrying. That should now... I'll also stop that so that the solar panels aren't being made either. We've got enough to put out a couple more of our grids, you know, the blueprint that we got. We can put out a couple more megawatts worth of solar panels, and then once the new battery production is underway, we can start producing a few more accumulators and so on in a little while. At the moment we're doing okay. I want to also be able to start getting a bit of storage for the electronic circuits, because at the moment we're not actually having them put into the storage system anywhere. They're not going into the logistics system at all, so I'll limit it to 500, and I'll pop down a chest right here, so that will take them off the side, and then the robot should keep me topped up so I don't have to keep making them whenever I need something that requires them. It just makes the whole thing a bit faster. So if we pop out the Roboport here, we'll make a couple more in a bit and take them right up to the... There we go, making another one now. All the little robots are scurrying out and are bringing up the... I like the way that they chain up the green ones there as they're being fed into the chest. They'll fill that right up soon. So we'll just connect these up. I'm going to use electric furnaces here rather than steel furnaces. I think that it's not going to be worth trying to drag coal or anything up here, and I don't want to use up the fuel that I'm going to start making in a minute with from the heavy oil. Yeah, I think it feels like a waste. using that up. Quite sure I don't really want to put this one in between the pipes because I'm not going to be able to get past it with the pipes there. So we pop it there and I get some energy down to it. There we go. And energy down to that one. Perfect. Right, now we can get the mining drills online. Get those online, and I'll bring that conveyor out a little bit and get these couple of furnaces as well. I think 3 furnaces would probably be about right here. Yeah, I don't think we're going to need more than 3 furnaces. In fact, I'd be surprised if it uses the full capacity of it all the time anyway. But if we have 3, at least we've got a little bit of surplus if we need it. It allows us to sort of buffer things a little bit. This is... I got a feeling this is going to be pushing our limit on electricity. I mean, we got 12 furnaces there, and they're getting near the top of the list for things that are needing power. We're going to have to watch that. We're going to be a bit careful. I'll bring that out. I've got those 3 working, but they'll fill up in a minute. Stone's been bugging me. Just get rid of it. Yeah, so the 3 furnaces... I don't think we're going to need any more than that for a while. We've got a little bit of shortage on copper coming out of that field there. We might have to extend that a bit. But first of all, most importantly, I'm going to extend out the Roboport coverage here, and then I can increase the number of these that I got down. I don't want to block up that stone though. I've got a nice big stone field there. So if I come out round the side of it, I should be able to fit a conveyor out there, so that it conveyors out the stone, and we'll be able to use that for, well, technically we'd use it for a railway, but I wasn't actually planning to put railways into this particular map. I was thinking of waiting until I get on to the next map. So, yeah, not really sure what I'm going to do about that. Probably I won't end up using it. I mean, really, it sort of depends on you guys. I mean, if you really want me to expand further while we're under constant attack, I will, but I think it's just going to be easier and more fun building a mega base if we're able to do it whilst we've got, you know, we haven't got to worry about all the enemies. You know, you can really go big then, and we can bring in a few of the mods as well. As soon as I figure out how to do the mods, I'm sure it's no more difficult than any other game. We'll add in a few mods. There are also, I've heard all sorts of reports about the different mods that you can get. There's a load of extra things that they've added into the game, which, you know, just to make it even more complicated than it already is. I was just moving those roboports around so that I can run up between the solar panels and actually get past them, because they were blocking my way at the time, which isn't very convenient. So, and also means that if I want to, I can conveyor out that stone there. They're filling up. Those extra few should, I'm hoping, be enough now that we're not going to need to worry about power for a little while. It should just keep us going until we've at least got that oil, the new oil section, up and running properly, and then we can start producing some more solar panels and accumulators. I got the robot frames making now. I'll make a whole load of those. I've got more than 40 of them being made. I put in a whole load of construction robots as well. I got 50 of them there. Mouse over it. I don't think I've moused over it. I think we've got about 70 construction robots now. Not entirely certain. And a couple hundred of the logistics robots. Ideally, at least to start with, I go for around 400 logistics robots, so that I've always got some if I need to have like a huge chunk of stuff carried all at once. I've got the robots there to be able to do it straight away. And as well as, you know, logistics robots, not logistics, construction robots. If I'm going to build something, I like to be able to do it all at once, so I want at least a couple hundred of those as well. My other map, I made a blueprint for concrete plates that I put down, and the area of concrete that it covered, I did about 200 pieces of concrete all at once, and then got the robots to put them all out. That looks absolutely brilliant when they go out and do that. And you get a nice run speed boost as well from the concrete. And we will set that one up to run fairly soon as well. It requires 1 piece of iron ore each time you make the concrete, and water. I think that's ever. I think it was just water and iron ore, but oh no, stone. Water, iron ore, and stone. Remember if it's processed stone or just plain stone as it is. We will have a look at that soon. Once we've finished doing this section here, and I've got the plastic as well, I need to bring a bit of coal over. That will be in the next episode that I do that. I'll then move on and we can get some of that concrete going. We're going to need concrete to be able to finish the map off anyway. So it's probably a good idea if I start producing it somewhere. Now that I've gotten used to having these T-junctions for the pipes like this, it kind of feels a bit odd just having the pipe running straight across. It's a lot more material efficient just to have a straight pipe going away across there. That doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to do it. Yeah. So we'll just pop that across. I have one straight pipe moving down in between the two there. And then I'm going to put a conveyor in between so that I've got the iron coming in for these batteries. I'm also going to need copper. But I think what we'll do with the copper is we'll actually put that into a requester chest in a minute. If I run that down through there, and I run the belt up under here, come up round, and then I do an underpass underneath that pipe there so that I can bring it out, and then I can put down some inserters just like that. I should put one there. I need to move that back over a little bit. There we go. That's better. And another inserter up there. I need power. So I'm actually going to start requesting that they fill me up with the steel pylons. I'll make a couple and just put them in there. That should cover the power supply. Put those down there with a fast inserter. That's going to feed everything in there that we need to. Now I want to request a chest down here onto this bit. I'll put another inserter there so it pops it into the opposite side. So that's going to be my supply of copper and iron taken care of. And then I got the sulfuric acid moving in as well so that we can make all of our batteries. The next thing that I want to do, I think, really I should be thinking about getting the solid fuel actually, because I want to be using up, I'm not going to make any lubricant up the top. I'm making lubricant down here. I've got all that I need. I'm not actually requiring any more. You use lubricant to make the engines, electric engine units, and you also use lubricant to make the tier 3 transport belts, the really fast ones, the blue ones. Haven't made any of those on this map yet, and don't think we're actually going to need them on this particular map. You really use them when you've got masses of resources coming in. So I don't think we're going to need to concern ourselves with those. These here, if I put 3 factories going making these, and then all of this oil here, this can all be turned into, is it heavy oil? Yes, heavy oil. All of the heavy oil, that will all be turned into the fuel. Nice and easy. Fill that one up there. And there. I'll tell you what. I've edited this and I've sped it up. And I've got the music playing. And of course the music is playing at 3 times speed as well. It sounds really bizarre. It really does. I'm not going to subject you to it because there's some very squeaky bits in it. But it does sound really funny. Yeah, I've actually recorded, you'll probably notice in the last track, I recorded a little bit of the soundtrack, and I'll just sort of splice that in along with what I'm talking about here. So, now that we got these going, we'll put down 3 of the inserters there, and that will start filling those chests up. The reason I've done this is because I want to fill all those chests up. I don't want to have any shortage of space, and then if we want fuel for anything, we have got loads of it in reserve. It will just turn all of that into it. I'm going to put productivity modules only in here, and once we get enough surplus, I'm going to upgrade and put the higher level productivity modules in to all of these factories that are producing stuff from the oil. I'll do that with the refineries, and I'll do it with the sulfuric acid, the sulphur, and probably the batteries as well. Because we got 3 of each of them, we're actually going to be producing more than we really need, I think. But if I do it like this, it means that our finite resources are going to be stretched as far as possible, and that's probably the best way to go about it. But that is just about everything that I got time for today. I'm going to make a whole load more of those, so I'll just sit and let those keep making. But if you've enjoyed this video, then please head down below and give us a like. That would be great. And if you really enjoyed it, please tell your friends all about me. But thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.